Welcome back everyone to the channel. I am absolutely smiling today to bring this episode to you guys. Some things have happened, and if you follow me on Instagram you might have seen a little teaser of what's been going on. So first of all, guys, jump on daysoffadventures.com, grab yourself some merch. It really helps the channel. Also, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Let me get to the real story here. I have, as you guys know, I'll leave cards, links, things at the end of the episode to catch us up on the build that I've been doing with the big truck behind me. I've been doing a lot of modifications, a lot I'm trying to do myself. You might have seen one episode of where I did a modification to my exhaust. Now, it was by no means a performance exhaust, performance modification. It was, I just needed my car to sound like a V8, and because it just sounded boxy, and I hated it, to be honest. But this is where it all begins. So I was talking to Teal from A2 Off-Road. If you guys don't know A2 Off-Road, they're a company in Mackay that it's literally a one-stop shop for all four-wheel drive modifications. The list goes on. They got accessories, exhaust, suspension, they do everything, tires, rims. It's literally endless to what they're going to do, and they are really an up-and-coming business in the four-wheel drive industry. And I was absolutely over the moon when Teal wanted to do some work with me and do some work to the car. Now, full disclaimer, I'm not really sponsored by them. I am just doing a lot of work with them in promoting their business. That's pretty much where I'm at with them. But I'm super excited for what Teal and his group of guys have done. So let me explain. The old exhaust came out. This is unbelievable. Holy f***. Righto. Let's set this up. I'm excited, bro. I'm full excited. Wait till you hear it. That's intense, lad. That's intense. Holy, I should have turned that way, but I'm too excited. And I've had nothing but smiles ever since then. So I'm pretty sure it's, let me get this correct, Tiger extractors. I think it might be 4-into-1. I will double check that. I'm pretty sure it's 4-into-1 extractors into 100 cell high flow cats. 2-inch system. Now this is what was different that I noticed in my old exhaust. Now the old exhaust from the cats, it came into one, then into the muffler. So from that, it's actually dual pipes all the way to the muffler, and the muffler is a sports muffler. It's probably the size of the two dual pipes, and then from that straight through 3-inch system from the muffler back with a 4-inch tip dumper, and it sounds absolutely phenomenal. I forget that it's a cruiser sometimes and think I'm like that fast of a V8, but it actually sounds like a V8. And in this episode we're going to cover a few things, also fuel consumption, what kind of fuel gains I've got, and I actually have got fuel gains, surprisingly, and it is so much better to drive just from this exhaust. But the second modification we done, we put an iDrive in it, and it's a whole nother car to drive. It's actually fun to drive, and the fuel economy has dropped significantly, and we'll go through all that sort of thing. So I've done a few tests, been doing a few tests over the last couple of weeks with fuel consumption, speed, all that sort of stuff, what kind of gains we've got now. Anyway, so we put the iDrive in, we've got a wicked exhaust. Pretty much performance wise, I'm happy. Obviously a lot of guys out there will do a lot of performance mods to their car. Me myself, I need to control myself a lot, because even now I put my foot to the floor just because I love hearing that note of what it sounds like. So what we're going to do first off is I've got a clip. Now this is the thing that I forgot to do, is try and do a comparison. And I was just, because what happened, it kind of just all happened where he was just like, yep, Teal was just like, yep, come in, we'll do your exhaust. And it really happened that quick, so I didn't really get enough time to do some comparisons. But I can guarantee you, fuel consumption wise, now these things have a 95 litre tank. So with that 95 litre tank, I was probably getting, around town, I was lucky to get 400 kilometers out of a 95 litre tank around town. On the highway, no, actually I was probably getting less than 400 around town out of a 95 litre tank, which is absolutely terrible. And even on the highway, I think I was just getting 400. I was getting like 100 kilometers per quarter of a tank, which was stupidly chewing fuel. And look, I knew buying a V8 was gonna chew fuel. That's just what it is. It's one of the old saying of miles per gallon. As for speed, nah, it is a whole nother beast to drive, especially with the throttle controller. I understand the throttle controller is just to give you power that was already there. It just gives you instant throttle response, which is amazing. I honestly leave it on Eco 3 because I'll end up trying to drag everyone off the lights for some stupid reason. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to throw a clip up of the old exhaust and what it sounded like, and then what we're going to do is compare it with the new exhaust. So I'll show this old exhaust, then we'll show this new exhaust. Alright, so that was the old exhaust. Now, for you petrol heads out there, this thing sounds absolutely nuts. So let me adjust the camera so you guys can see the car, and I'm going to start her up for you. Now, I don't care who you are, that sounds absolutely nuts. That just sounds so awesome. My friend Jack and I, yesterday, we did a bit of a trip up the valley. So one, we could do the fuel economy. Two, we did a bit of a 0 to 100 test. So I'm going to roll those clips on next. We are going to try the 0 to 100 test. Now what this is going to do, because of the throttle controller and the exhaust, I'm just trying to get a bit of a speed test, I guess, how well and how much more acceleration we're getting from the throttle controller and the exhaust. And let's see how we do. Jack's gonna do the time on his phone because I have to drive, obviously. I'm just looking for cars now.
You're up my way.
We'll say this, I'm on a bit of a off-beat road. The speed limit is 100, so I'm not going to do anything too dangerous or be unsafe in any way. But mainly just want to see how the throttle controller goes and the exhaust and how much speed we're actually getting. I didn't actually do one with the old exhaust, but I can tell you now it's definitely going to be a lot faster. So what I'm going to do is ultimate. It'll be ultimate 9, so it'll be the highest setting on the throttle controller and foot flat to the floor. That's pretty much what we're going to do. Are you ready for this? I'll just creep up to the line here. Now hold on to your jocks, Jack. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Terrible?
11 seconds.
11 seconds? What?
11.47.
What?
Yeah.
That's not bad for
That's pretty good.
For it to be a 3-ton truck. Oh, wow.
11.47 seconds.
Wow. 0 to 100.
That's pretty fast.
That's pretty. How did it feel for you, mate?
A little bit more kickback on it.
Yeah.
But it was clean. It picked up really well.
Yeah.
Off the line, it was fast.
But even now, so like what I've been noticing, it doesn't drop back as much.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like here, look, what we're sitting on 60.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It does. It gets that first little bit of a jink and then it just goes.
Yeah. It picks up really well,
It's not like a slow pickup either.
So what the throttle controller actually does, it gives you instant response.
Right.
So as soon as you put your foot down, so here, look. See that? That's instant response. So we'll go to Eco 3 because that's what I usually run on, so I don't burn too much fuel. See how I tap the accelerator then?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
See how it's a little bit quieter and a little bit more dull?
Yeah.
I leave it on Eco 3 mainly because I don't want to chew on my fuel. But
It is still a cruiser.
Oh yeah. It is 3 tons, but
absolutely.
But we'll go on this corner here. You watch how much the pickup is when we're trying to turn the corner. It like gets real hard to grip.
Yeah, righto.
So we'll just turn here again. This speed, we won't go over the speed limit, but we're probably going to pick it up pretty quick.
Okay.
I'll just wait for these cars.
There's a few.
There's a few.
You want to pick it up to 100 again?
Nah. We're just going to have a little bit of fun. That's about it.
I like it.
But see how like even when you put this is where the brake's stalling up. See how like wants to get up and go real quick.
It does, yeah, 100% it does. Oh yeah, that's gnarly.
That's gnarly.
That's so good.
Different too, eh?
It's so much different to your last exhaust.
Oh, so you'd notice. You would have noticed too.
Yeah.
Because you've been in there last one, yeah.
But this one, clean as. They've done a good job. They've done a good job.
They've done a really good job.
You happy with it, aren't you?
Oh, over the moon. I just got to control my foot.
Yeah. I bet.
Oh, so next test we're going to do is fuel economy. So I stole this one off Built Not Bought, and we're going to fill up the car, and then we're going to drive around up the valley, and then on our way back through we're going to fill it up again, and then we're going to mark the kilometers and should be able to tell us how much fuel we have used. I will be running it on Eco 3 only to the fact of we don't need to run high power at the moment, so it's just going to be general cruising. That'll try and give us a better average of how much fuel consumption we're using.
Yeah.
Woo. All right, let's do it. This is where all my money goes. $1.75 a litre.
Not bad. It's disgusting, that is.
I need to buy an electric scooter.
Too late now.
Too late now. That's the joys of owning a V8.
Proper.
Money coming, money go. I've been at it on the low. Trapping out of where I live. I keep seeing the leaders doing this. We talking plans and maybe seeing you. Pull up on you.
Right. 38.86 litres.
That's to full.
That's the full. Right, 68 bucks. Swing it.
What we're going to do now is discuss some of the results. So some of the results were, now I'm pretty confident to say I was burning about anywhere from 24 to 26 litres per 100, and that's stock. That's there's nothing in it. Probably more if I take it camping or whatever that, which is absolutely terrible. But it's not uncommon for these guys to hit those sort of numbers with at least towing, those sort of numbers. Full tank of the main tank, well, I was only getting just barely 400. Around town it was worse. So now I'm getting about 17 to 18 litres per 100, which is absolutely phenomenal. I'm actually gained about 125 litres out of my main tank from the calculations I did yesterday. So that's a super gain. And the power gains, obviously, what I did with fuel consumption, I left the throttle controller on Eco 3. Now Eco 3 is not too bad, it dulls it a fair bit. I don't need to put the power on high when I'm driving around town, especially when I've got kids in the car and stuff. I don't need that sort of power, so I just leave it on Eco 3. It's a good one. If I need power, I just press the button and I get power. So Eco 3 is what I run on around town. I'm pretty stoked with those numbers. With 17 to 18, that's a massive increase. So the next one is 0 to 100, guys. That was a pretty fun test to do. I was pretty intrigued about the numbers because this thing weighs 2.95 ton, which is fairly decent for, like, it's a pretty heavy car. It's not light at all. So to get 11.4, I think it was, I'm pretty stoked for that. Like, I'm not about dragging cars, or like, I know it's a four-wheel drive. I know it's not a club sport or something like that, but in saying that, to get those sort of numbers is pretty amazing. Like 11 seconds to 100 is pretty crazy. Right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was definitely a bit of an informative, and if you need more information, go speak to Teal from A2 Off-Road. Their link to their website will be in the description, their Facebook, their Instagram. Go follow them, check out their pages, guys. If you need any questions answered, go talk to Teal. And also, guys, jump online, daysoffadventures.com, go grab your merch, go be a part of our family, and peace.